All right, guys, welcome back. So in this short video, we're going to talk about actually calculating the value of the discriminant and then using that to interpret what that tells us about our quadratic function. So we're going back to the same examples that we just looked at over here on the left side of your screen. You can see that we've already set up the discriminant formula for 3 different quadratic functions. So now what we're going to do is use the Desmos scientific calculator to calculate the value of the discriminant and then use that to tell us what that actually means. Okay, so let's take that first example from the equation 4x squared minus 6x plus 8, and let's take our formula that we've set up down here at the bottom for discriminant and type that in. The link for this will be in your assignment, or you can just go to desmos.com and then choose the scientific calculator. So I'm going to type it in exactly as it looks on my screen on the left-hand side. I've got my -6 in the first parentheses. I need to square it. So if you press right here, this button that says a squared, oops, I did it twice. Just back out, make sure you got it set up right. Everybody makes mistakes. Then I'm going to press -4 because that's part of that formula over there. Inside of my next parentheses, I've got +4. And then inside of my last parentheses, I have +8. So you can see that this looks exactly the same in my Desmos calculator is what I have set up over here on my paper. Okay, so this might be a good exercise for you to do as well. Make sure you're writing it down on your paper first before you go to type it in so you know what it looks like, or do the side-by-side screen sharing so you can make sure that you get the right thing down. All right, so we got -92 as our answer over here. So underneath here, I'm just going to put equals -92. All right. So now, what does that tell us? So if we look here at our notes here, we got a discriminant value that was negative. So that tells me that I should have 0 solutions. Remember, solutions means the number of x-intercepts. So if I graph this, I should never see an x-intercept for this graph. So let's take a look at that. I've got this graphed here for us already. And we can see that this parabola is never crossing our x-axis. It's way up here. Its vertex is shifted up this way. So it's never going to have a chance to cross over that x-axis. So we should get a negative discriminant because it's never going to touch the x-axis. So it has 0 solutions. All right, let's put that under there. Let's go to our next one. So I've got x squared plus 2x minus 3 is the equation that I started with. I've got this set up here. So I'm going to go back to my Desmos scientific calculator and get rid of this and type in my next discriminant formula. Remember, press this button right here, the a squared button, to get that squared and make it look exactly how it's written on your screen or on your paper. So when I type that one in, we get an answer of +16. So if we go over here to our chart, if the discriminant is positive, we should get 2 solutions. So let's put that underneath here, equals +16. And let's check out our graph and see if we do in fact get 2 positive solutions. I do get 2 solutions. That's great. So I can see that it's crossing the x-axis twice. Okay, now notice it doesn't matter what those numbers actually are. The only thing the discriminant tells me is how many times that parabola is going to cross over the x-axis. Okay, that's it. Doesn't tell us where they are. It just tells us how many times. So I should have 2 solutions, which I do, because my discriminant was a positive answer. And now let's try that last one. So my last one here is 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. I've already got that all set up here for myself. So I'm just going to type that into my Desmos scientific calculator. Again, pressing this first button there on the top left to get the squared. And making sure I set it up exactly the way it's written. So this time I got exactly equals 0. So if we look at our chart over here, if the discriminant is equal to 0, that means I only have 1 solution. So when I go over here and look at this graph, I should only see 1 x-intercept. Right here, that's what I see. It only crosses the x-axis one time, okay? So I've got one solution when the discriminant is equal to 0. Remember, the discriminant doesn't tell you what the solutions are. It just tells you how many there are going to be, okay? Try your next few questions and watch this video as many times as you need to. Good luck.